Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillahi wa kafa wa salamun ala ibadihi allazina istafa amma ba'd. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Fazkuruni adhkurkum washkuruli wa la takfurun. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun. Salamun ala al-mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala ali Sayyidina Muhammadin wa barik wa sallam. Inshallah, we begin today's Majlis, today's Mahfil, with the beautiful name of our Rabb Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I invite us to remain focused on our hearts, and our hearts remain focusing on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so we can maximize the benefit. Try to step away and disconnect from your thoughts, and inshallah try to bask into the rahmah, the blessings that a Majlis of Dhikr has. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make this Majlis a source of transformation of our hearts and ourselves, inshallah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Astaghfirullah Rabbi min kulli dhanbin wa atubu ilayh. Astaghfirullah Rabbi min kulli dhanbin wa atubu ilayh. Astaghfirullah Rabbi min kulli. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. اللهم صل على سيدنا. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا عنك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا فإذا فرغت فانصب وإلى ربك فارغب. ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا عنك وزرك إن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا. ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا عنك بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد. قل هو الله أحد. قل هو الله أحد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. اللهم صل على الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم يا قاضي الحاجات، يا قاضي الحاجات، يا قاضي الحاجات، يا قاضي الحاجات. اللهم يا كافي المهمات، يا كافي المهمات، يا كافي المهمات، يا كافي. اللهم يا دافع البليات، يا دافع البليات، يا دافع، يا دافع البليات. اللهم يا شافي الأمراض، يا شافي الأمراض. اللهم يا رافع الدرجات، يا رافع الدرجات. اللهم يا حل المشكلات، يا حل المشكلات، يا حل المشكلات. اللهم يا مسبب الأسباب، يا مسبب الأسباب. اللهم يا مجيب الدعوات، يا مجيب الدعوات. اللهم يا أرحم الراحمين، 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 يا أرحم الراحمين. برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Ya Allah Kareem, whatever was read, Allah, we ask that you send the reward of this to all the prophets and messengers, alayhi salatu wassalam, especially our beloved Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Allah, send the reward of this to all the companions, Ridwanullahi ajma'een, the Ahl Bayt, the Ummahatul Mu'mineen, the Ashra Mubashara, the Khulfa Rashideen, especially Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu anhu. Allah, send the reward of this to all the Siddiqeen, Shuhada, Salihin, Ulama wa Mashayikh Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, especially Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah ta'ala alayhi, Imam Bukhari rahmatullah ta'ala alayhi, Hazrat Bahauddin Naqshbandi rahmatullah, Hazrat Mujaddid al-Sani rahmatullah ta'ala alayhi. Allah, send the reward of this to the souls of all the Muslimin, Muslimat, Mu'mineen, Mu'minat. Ameen, Ya Rabbul Alameen. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل. حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل. حسبنا الله. حسبنا الله. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. اللهم صل. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا خفي اللطف أدركني بلطفك الخفي. يا خفي اللطف أدركني بلطفك الخفي. يا خفي اللطف أدركني بلطفك الخفي. يا خفي اللطف أدركني. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. اللهم صل. اللهم صل على سيدنا. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا باقي أنت الباقي. يا باقي أنت الباقي. يا باقي أنت الباقي. يا باقي أنت. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد. اللهم صل. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. لا حول ولا قوة. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد. اللهم صل. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد. اللهم صل على سيدنا. اللهم صل على سيدنا. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك أستغيث. يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك أستغيث. يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك أستغيث. يا حي يا قيوم. يا حي يا قيوم. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والله ذو فضل على المؤمنين 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 اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون إنا لله اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم اللهم صل على بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الله ولي الذين آمنوا الله ولي الذين آمنوا الله ولي الذين الله ولي الذين الله ولي الذين الله ولي اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى اللهم صل على بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والله ولي المؤمنين 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 اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى لا إله إلا الله لا إله لا إله لا إله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله. الحمد لله وكفى والسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الله لا يحب المستكبرين سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. The theme that we have been following for the last few months is on the spiritual ailments and spiritual diseases that a salih or a traveler on the path towards spiritual purity he experiences. And so we have discussed in some detail the concept of shahwa, of lusting, the concept of ghayz, ghadab, gussa, of anger and wrath, the concept of tama or hirs, meaning having greed in oneself, the concept of bukhal and hasad, jealousy, as well as being miserly. And last time we started talking briefly about the concept of ujab. Ujab basically means vanity or self-love. So does anybody want to summarize what we spoke about last time? What is ujab? It's vanity, but what exactly does it mean?
Having self-doubt, losing yourself.
Okay.
Could be an example to give like you want beauty, you will be great, and people having
So in general, what we discussed was the fact that when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses us with any kamalat, that attributing those kamalat to our own selves rather than returning them back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is the general definition of ujub. And those kamalat can be personal beauty or personal knowledge, good voice, intelligence. It could be that we went to some good college, we got some degree, we have a good job, we have a good business. Wealth can become a source of vanity as well. But these are not just the worldly aspects that causes a person to fall into this self-love. Sometimes it's also the dini achievements. Achievements as far as the deen is concerned. For example, sometimes people will do remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then they will feel this self-righteousness about themselves. They will feel that they have attained something, they have become something, they want people to treat them in a certain way. People will gain some ilm, some dini knowledge, and because now they have the ability, the capacity to answer questions, that causes them to fall into this vanity and pride and self-love, because knowledge is power. Right? Knowledge is, as we said last time, it is one of the sifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It has this Quran, this azmat to it. It has this majesty to it. And so those people who gain ilm without keeping themselves in check, without going through the path of spiritual purification, most of the time it causes them to fall into this self-vanity as well as pride and arrogance as well. So dini efforts, I spent on masjid, I built a masjid, I made a madrasa, I'm a hafiz, I'm a qari, when I read, subhanallah, people look at me. Right? So all of these dini achievements, these kamalat, are from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We don't deserve any of them. The likes of Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah ta'ala alayh, who spent most of his adult life engaging in ilm, spreading ilm, but also exercising taqwa and being very much involved in his ibadah, personal ibadah as well, so much so that it is said that for 40 years of his life, he used to pray Fajr from the wudu of his Isha, meaning most of his time or most of his nights were spent in Qiyam and in Sujood. And when he was blessed with Hajj, with the ability to go to Hajj, he made the tawaf around the Ka'batullah. And then when he was reciting his wajib tawaf behind the Muqam Ibrahim, he made dua. And the dua is so beautiful. He said, Ma abadnaka haqqa ibadatik. Allah, I have not worshipped you as you deserve to be worshipped. Or ma arafnaka haqqa ma'rifatik. I have not gained your ma'rifah, the insights, your connection as you deserve to be known. I have not known you as you deserve to be. So if you see the opposite of all this vanity and arrogance, and we'll talk very briefly, these are called muhlikat. Muhlikat is something that kills you. It is like pancreatic cancer that, once you have it, it's very rare that people will survive it. Exactly like that. These are known as muhlikat. These are spiritual ailments that kill a person spiritually, that kill them. And so, there's much more to be said about it, but because we lack of time, we're just barely touching it. So we are familiar that the reason that we engage in a suluk and that we do dhikr and that we do mujahida, remember that we talked about the maqamat ashra, things that you have to do in order to get close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We do all of these things. The reason is because these are very difficult diseases to cure. Very difficult to cure. I mean, you have to spend sometimes a lifetime struggling with them. You struggle with them day in and day out. So, ujab is vanity. And when a person falls into the self-love, it is a process. The first thing is that you find some khair in your own self. You start to feel good about yourself. You start loving yourself. This is ujab. Then it naturally leads a person into sort of a kibr, meaning you start to compare yourself with others. If I have this kamal, if I have this beauty, or whatever the case might be, now I will start to compare myself with others. I will say, okay, if I have this he doesn't have it. And so we start to become judgmental in our existence. I have this, he doesn't have it, she doesn't have it. And we start to use that to start thinking that we are better than others. I am doing this person is not doing it, so I am better than him. I'm better than her. And so ujab naturally, it's a natural inclination, natural flow, that the person who has vanity, who has self-love, that person will start to grow the seeds of arrogance and pride in them. Kibr. So much so that they become mutakabbir. Now there is nobody in my eyes. I am king in my eyes. And the biggest example of the mutakabbir, Shaitan himself. And in this dunya, we can think about Fir'aun. He had so much kibr, he had so much ujab. He was so mutakabbir that what did he say? What was the phrase that he used? Ana rabbukumul a'la. That I am the greatest Rabb. I am the highest Rabb. So meaning you become a Rabb in your own eyes. One of the expressions of this kind of kibr and takabbur nowadays, we can see certainly in some of like these atheistic movements that people feel this audacity that we don't need a Rabb, we are Rabb ourselves. And you can see, certainly you can see in the tone of their talk and their debates, that this kibr, this arrogance, this pride is showing. They become condescending and demeaning of others. And the way that they talk, it really is that you are nobody. Like even if you think that there is, like a being or like a higher being than you, they ridicule you. So you can see that this is like the natural end of this kind of thinking, that people start to think that we are the highest and we are it. Right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran very clearly states that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the ayah that was read, La yuhibbul, He does not love those people who are mutakabbir. Allah ta'ala does not like, which naturally says that Allah ta'ala dislikes those people. Allah ta'ala does not like those people who are mutakabbir. And in the same ayah, Allah ta'ala says that He is mutakabbir. I mean, this is one of the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when a person is arrogant, when a person shows pride in whatever things, he is challenging Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's attributes. Now, there are certain attributes that we try to inculcate within ourselves. Of course, Allah is kamil. For example, Allah ta'ala has rahim, right? He is merciful. Now, Allah ta'ala wants us to be merciful towards each other as well. Very, it's like a taste of divine attribute. Allah ta'ala listens. We can listen, but our listening is very much naqis. Allah ta'ala sees, we see, but our seeing is very much naqis. So there are attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah ta'ala wants to see in His servants and slaves that, we forgive other people, we are merciful, we are compassionate. All of these attributes exist. But there are certain attributes that Allah ta'ala does not want to see amongst His servants. And being mutakabbir is actually one of those. That it deserves, Allah ta'ala, subhanAllah, because He is the creator and master of all existence. So of course He's mutakabbir. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because He is the creator, He is it. Through Him flows all that exists. So of course He's mutakabbir, but we are nobody. Honestly, we need to look at our insignificant existence, and we should be the ones saying that we are nobody. We're so insignificant in our existence. Even if you look at this, just the physical universe, forget the metaphysical, forget the angels and the skies and the Jannahs and the Jahannam, forget all of that. Even just the physical existence that is known to us. That is known to us, meaning there may be a physical existence that is not known to us just because our instruments cannot reach that kind of depth. The physical existence that is known to us, it is so remarkable and it is so wasir, it's so vast, subhanallah, that even if we compare ourselves to that, forget metaphysical and all of that, we are nobody. In the whole scheme of time, we are nobody. In the whole scheme of space, we are nobody. Nothing. Our 50, 60 years of existence is nothing. And so what gives us meaning and what gives us purpose and what gives us dawam, right, is being connected to the divine. Is that we identify ourselves in connection with the divine, in the connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay? So takabbur is, especially for the salikeen, it is so essential that we are able to develop this self-negation within us. Because if we start to find khair within us, that is the day that the salik is going to fall. There is the Punjabi verse, mit ke mit ja fakira, which means, you have to kind of annihilate yourself. O fakir of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, annihilate yourself and annihilate yourself and annihilate yourself. And if you think that you have annihilated yourself, you still haven't annihilated yourself. Meaning you still have this I in front of you. Right? So what that basically means is that sometimes we act mutawazi, that we are very humble, but we're just acting. We use words that are very humble. Sometimes people would call themselves ajiz and fakir, but they're just calling themselves that. They don't feel that in their hearts. And that is a sign that this person has takabbur in them. That, with our, and they use that. One of our teachers, subhanallah, he was telling a story that, and he was like that as well. That, sometimes people will say, oh, Hazrat, I'm ajiz, I'm fakir, and Hazrat, I'm so bad. And he would say, yes, you are very bad. He would say, yes, you are very bad. And then the reality comes in, the color would change, like, Shahzad, you're calling me bad? And so it means that we even use those vernacular, that vocabulary for people to recognize us. That because we want to pretend to be mutawazi, that we're pretending to be humble, but we're not. And subhanAllah, I experienced it with the same Shaykh as well. And I was like, Hazrat, this is, like, don't worry, you are not, it's very clear. It's like, fikr na karo, aap kuch bhi nahi ho. Like, Jazakallah, Hazrat, you have shown me my true self. Very clearly he smiles and says, kuch bhi nahi, fikr na karo, you're not nobody. So we need that kind of checking because, we have kind of grown up in a culture where we want recognition, we want pat in the back, we want people to praise us, and I'm the student of the month in kindergarten. I mean, what did you do that you're a student of the month in kindergarten? Right? People want, you see, I mean, if you look at this, we are coveting those things. We want recognition, compared to others like 10, 15 kids, who cannot even change their own diapers. We want even recognition amongst them. It's ajib. And so we grow up with this sense of entitlement that people will recognize us, praise us, do all of these things. And this is antithetical to the way that the deen has taught us. Because for us, we are looking for some value in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But khalas, that's it. That's it. وَتُعِزُّ مَن تَشَاءُ وَتُذِلُّ مَن. And if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives an izzah, this is the mercy from Him. That He causes people to honor us despite us knowing who we really are. So for Salikin, again, it is essential that we develop this. Man tawada alillahi rafahullah. This is like a bigger narration which talks about that a person who develops tawadu, humbleness, being down to earth for the sake of Allah. Allah ke liye. Don't do it for the sake of others. Rafahullah, Allah Ta'ala will raise this person. Allah Ta'ala will raise this person. And then people will, even though this person is little in his own eyes, Allah Ta'ala will make this person bigger in the eyes of others. And on the flip side, the narration says that those person that who have, who do not lower themselves and they want to make themselves big, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make them fall. And then Allah Ta'ala will do the hashr, and the words are really like a dog and a pig, worse than a dog and a pig. And so we see that if there are nations that act like that, those nations are destroyed. Whatever happened to Ad and Thamud. And when there are people like that, Nimrod and Fir'aun and all of that, then those individuals are also destroyed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it's a very killer disease. It's a very killer disease that we have to really step back from. So much so, the Prophet ﷺ mentioned that person who has even a single, a dharra word, mithqala, dharra, you can call like an atom or a grain worth of kibr in them, of pride and arrogance, that person, la yadkhul jannah, that person will not enter Jannah. Or another place it said he will not get a whiff of Jannah. Not even the khushbu, not even the fragrance of Jannah, if you have that. Please, we need to really focus on this. Dharra barabar, even an atom and grain worth of this vanity, ujab and kibr and takabbur, it's like there's no Jannah for you. So it means it's imperative that we develop this sense of self-negation. Now, it doesn't mean that we will become depressed beings. It means that we do work, we do meaningful things, but always returning back there to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Alhamdulillah, Allah, you are the one who has blessed me to do it. La tawfiqi illa billah. Without your tawfiq, without your irada, without your qudrat, without your rahmat, I will not have been able to do any of this. So, Salikin should inshallah ta'ala pay attention. And this is one of the last lataif of Alam Amr that we do dhikr on, which is known as Latifa Akhfa. Latifa Akhfa, which, not surprisingly, is related to or connected to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because Prophet sallallahu he was such a he had so much humbleness, so much humility. It's amazing how humble Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And even from dunyawi perspective, he achieved so much. I mean, changing the face of Arab, and his da'wah, subhanallah, spread to four corners of the world, but still he's so humble. Of course, even if we don't talk about how Allah Ta'ala blessed him in two worlds and what maqam Allah Ta'ala gave, even from like a secular perspective, Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam achieved so much in his life with basically nothing. I mean, he did not have wealth, right? All of society was against him. People were torturing him, tormenting him. People boycotted him for 2 years, right? So you see so much opposition, and the perseverance he had, and despite not having any like worldly means, he was an orphan, and Allahu Akbar, and subhanallah, even that would have caused people to think high of themselves. But Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, despite that, he exercised humbleness and humility, and he taught and inculcated amongst his followers this humbleness and humility. That is why the greatest of the Siddiqs, Siddiq Akbar Raziyallahu ta'ala anhu, Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq, what an amazing, amazing person. You need like 10 days just to talk about how amazing this person was. But despite the maqam that Allah Ta'ala gave him, he used to look at himself and he used to make dua, oh, I wish that I were never been born. I wish that I were a blade of grass. I wish that I was a bird that would fly away. I wish that I were like a hair on the body of a mu'min. I mean, this is like self-negation. You're not seeing any khair in yourself. Same thing with Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq, Hazrat Umar Farooq, radiyallahu ta'ala, amazing person. Even Shaitan changed lanes when he saw him, right? And he used to make dua, Allahumma ja'alni fi ayni saghira, and we should make this dua. I mean, it's a beautiful dua. We should make it in every salah that we make. Allahumma ja'alni fi ayni saghira wa fi ayunin nasi kabira. That Allah, make me small in my eyes. Allah, I don't want to think high of myself. Allah, help me think of myself that I'm nothing. I'm a nobody. But Allah, make me high in the eyes of others so they can benefit. They can have benefit from it. That's it. Mere se fayda utha sakein. That's about it. Whether it's ilmi fayda, fayda of da'wat, fayda of dhikr, whatever the case might be, Allah, people are able to take benefit from you. I become the source. That's it. You have those garden hoses. You just use the hose to direct the water. I mean, the water is not personal or internal to the hose. It knows it's just a connection. The water is coming from behind, and anything that the hose can do is just make dua. Allah, use me to water the plants. Right? So just like that, Allah, you have to water the plants, and you have to water the people, and you have to give hidayah. Allah, make me that garden hose through which you send hidayah. That's it. I know it's not internal, I know it's not personal, but Allah, use me for guidance of others. ठीक है, तो इस तरह का इंसान को सोचना चाहिए. And it's a little longer topic, so we'll continue next week as well. But I mean, you would find this in all of our kabirin, so down to earth, and alhamdulillah. So we should really put some effort into this and take it seriously. Sayyid Salman Nadwi rahmatullah ta'ala alayh came to the Hakim al-Ummat rahmatullah ta'ala alayh. And Sayyid Salman Nadwi rahmatullah was a big Shaykh. He was known in like East and West and known everywhere. And so he came, he said, well, what is this tasawwuf? What is the meaning of tasawwuf? And of course he knew the dictionary meaning of what tasawwuf is, but he wanted to know what is the asal of it. And as Hazrat Thanvi rahmatullah replied, he said that tasawwuf is apne aap ko matana, is to again like just annihilate yourself, especially in our own eyes. The self-image that we have, to annihilate it completely. Annihilate it completely. Apne aap ko mita dena. This is what tasawwuf is. And really, if you think about it, that's exactly what tazkiyah is. That is exactly what tasfiyah is. Because once we destroy this nafs that is really becoming a hurdle between us and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, only then can we truly get ma'arifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So inshallah ta'ala we make dua. Allah ta'ala allows us to attain izz, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gets rid of this pride and arrogance and ujab and vanity and self-love that we may have. May Allah ta'ala bless us all. Ameen ya Rabbul Alameen. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillah. Inshallah ta'ala, we will now do muraqabah. Please close your eyes, bow your heads in humility and humbleness. Step back from your thoughts. Let go of them. Disconnect yourself from your thoughts and khiyalat. Bring your focus and attention down to your latifa qalb, 2 fingers below your left chest. This is where our spiritual heart is, the center of emotion, center of iman. Negate everything and negate everyone in this dunya. No zameen, no asman, no earth, no sky, no human beings, no shaitan, nothing. People that we're attached to, things that we're attached to, just let go and negate them. And negate yourself and make this sincere and strong intention that this nur, this fail, these anwarat, they are descending from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, entering into our qalb, cleansing it of all the darkness and filth, cleansing it of all the rust, cleansing it of all the hardness, and feel that your qalb is calling out to Him. Feel that your heart is saying, Allah, Allah, Allah. لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله. سبحان ربي على الوهاب. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. رب اغفر وارحم وأنت خير الراحمين. اللهم يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلوبنا على دينك. اللهم يا مصرف القلوب صرف قلوبنا على طاعتك. يا الله يا رحمن يا رحيم يا أرحم الراحمين. يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك نستغيث. يا حنان يا منان يا ذو الجلال والإكرام. ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. رب زدني علما رب زدني علما رب زدني علما. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. جزا الله عنا محمد اللهم صلى الله تعالى على خير خلق محمد وعلى آله وصحبه برحمتك يا أرحم